Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's a beautiful afternoon and I thought I might take you with me so that you can somewhat experience what I am experiencing. This is just my backyard, man. I live in the middle of the bush, as you can probably tell. And this is my safe place. This is where I do my venting. This is where I record my videos and sort of share my thoughts with the world, I guess. If there's anyone happen to be listening in, yeah, you know my deepest, darkest secrets. Only the wind will know my soul. Today at work, a patient asked me if I am a family man. And yesterday, two patients also asked me the same question. They asked me how long have I been a nurse for, and whether I have a wife and kids. Hell, one of my colleagues also asked me the same question. He asked me, so do you have a wife? I guess it's just a common question people like to ask a young person. And I shouldn't take it too personally. I don't think they are making a judgment on my character. I think it's just a social question. Something people ask each other, trying to make conversations, I think. But it definitely got me thinking, why did four people ask me if I'm married? Or when am I gonna get married? Maybe this is just my thoughts. Perhaps they saw some qualities within me that would make me a worthy husband, someone who's worthy to be a family man. It is something that I have been thinking a lot about recently. I want to become a father one day, and I want to raise children. Children are beautiful, man. I think they are a blessing to the world. And I would love to one day be a father, um, watching someone else, an extension of your own being, achieving all these things, learning all these things. I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of someone's success. And I guess this is one of the many reasons why I started this YouTube channel. I I initially started this channel because I wanted to document my thoughts, and so that in 10 years time or however long I can stay alive on this earth, I can watch these videos again and reminisce on old memories and see how far I have come. Already, when I looked back at my old videos, I realized I've come a long way and I have changed so much. So it's only natural that in 10 years I would not recognize myself again. And that's why I started the channel. But the more I start to speak my mind, the more I started to let go of all these inhibitions and um, just ignoring the societal expectations of me. I started to become more true to myself. I wonder if all of you who are watching my videos start to do the same things. Would that make you a more introspective, reflective person? And would that make you be more careful of what you do and make you appreciate what it means to be living? You will find more fulfillment in life because you realize your true purpose. It sounds very out there, but just give it a shot and you might find it very rewarding. When I was about 10 years old, I lived next door to this girl whom I would refer to as my first love. She was, if there's any characteristic that I remember of her, it was that she was the tallest girl in our year group, even taller than some of the senior girls in our school. So when was it? Probably grade 3 or 4. One day, she handed out her birthday cards, birthday invitation to some of the classmates in our class. And being her neighbor, I had been following this girl for a while because she was my neighbor and I had a huge crush on her. I don't know, I just liked taller girl for some reason as a kid. Maybe that's why I have such an insecurity now as an adult for being a short man. Anyways, this girl, she handed out her birthday invitation cards to all these people in our class. And I was secretly hoping that she would somehow come over to me and ask me to join her for her birthday party, seeing that we are neighbors and we do see each other from time to time. When I walked outside of my house and when she got back from her karate classes or sports, I wasn't very sporty back then, but she was. And every time she comes past our house, I would poke my head out of the window and look at her. I didn't say anything, and I was very shy back then too. But I was waiting for her to invite me to her birthday party. I waited and waited for the whole day at school, and yet she didn't even come near me. We never really talk, even though we see each other as neighbors. And so on the day of her birthday, I was so mad for some reason. I got so mad because she didn't invite me. And I was so pissed off, man. I can see all my friends going to her house. They were singing karaoke, playing games on the street. And I was pissed off. I went upstairs. I was playing on my computer, and then I heard some kids laughing outside, pressing the bell. My dad came downstairs. He greeted them, and then he went upstairs to call for me. He said, "Son, come downstairs. Your friends are calling for you." But man, I got so pissed off. I didn't come downstairs at all. I just went up to my room, I locked the door, and I just sat there. Fast forward to when I arrived in Australia and I regained this girl's contact again through Facebook. We lost contact for a while, even though we went to primary school together and we lived next to each other for a long time. When I came to Australia, I just lose contact with her. But I discovered Facebook and I found her again. And it was me who actually sent the first message. And I started confessing to her. I sort of half jokingly, half serious asked her, "Why didn't you invite me to your birthday party back then?" And she just replied, "You're my neighbor. Of course you invited. Why didn't you come downstairs when we called for you?" And that sort of kicked off our conversation. We kept talking for a while. Back then she was still back in Vietnam and I was still in Australia. And we kept chatting for a while and I started getting really invested in this girl. I started developing true feelings for her. I thought we had a thing going on because she was replying back to me. I was messaging her. But it turns out I had one-nighters. If you read the book, The Rational Male by Rollo Tomassi, I don't recommend it, but I'm just saying that book changed me. I don't recommend you read it because if you read it, you're gonna get fucked up. But to summarize, one-nighters is when a guy starts to become desperate. In other words, one-nighters. He believes in the one. He invests all of his energy into talking to this one girl. So that's why he has one-nighters. It's inflammation of the mind, of a young man's mind. You shouldn't have this condition. You should not focus all of your energy, all of your effort into talking to this one girl, and then when you find out that it doesn't work out, you will turn into the next Elliot Rodger, which was what happened to me. So I don't recommend you read too much into this. Just go out there and talk to many girls, and whatever happens, happens. Don't put all your eggs into one basket like I did. So I got overly invested in this girl, and one day, out of the blue, I messaged her to confess my feelings for her. And if you've been following me for a while, you know what happened. Instead of rejecting me, that was what I was hoping. It's funny how I already knew she was gonna reject me and it wasn't gonna work out. I already knew that, but yet I went after it anyway. It was never gonna work out. She was back in Vietnam, I was in Australia. We're never gonna see each other. She was going to Canada. Yeah, it's just a simple truth of life, really. And yet I just messaged her anyway, and I told her I really love you and I think about you more than a friend, and I'm just wondering what you think of me. Something along those lines. She replied back saying, I am not good enough for you. You will find someone better. I am not good enough for you. And I don't know about you, but that really stung. I did not take that very well at all. I became very resentful towards her and towards pretty much all the girls I've had somewhat of a romantic interest in the past. I questioned myself, why are girls so repulsed by me? You probably heard this before, but it is such a common experience. I'm sharing my experience so that we as a collective group can appreciate what it's like to be a man. It's supposed to be hard. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. You will have to go through this. And I did not take that very well at all. I would rather she told me straight up, I do not find you attractive. I do not see you more than a friend. I'm not good enough for you. About a month later, this was when she went to Canada. We still talk from time to time, but yeah, it became less frequent. And one day I saw her new profile picture. It was with another man. I just sort of stalked her profile a little bit. I could not find his name, but yeah, he was a much older gentleman than I was at the time. And at first glance, I got really jealous. It looks like this guy has a lot more going for him. He looks like someone who's a lot mature, more mature than I was. And he looks like someone who has life figured out, someone who has a bit more money, someone who's taller than me. And I'm just telling you how it is. I felt devastated, crushed. But little did I know, a few years down the line, I got a girlfriend. We're no longer together, but if I had kept thinking that I would never attract any girl, that would have been my truth, and I would have never gone out to chat to anyone, get into any sort of relationships. If I had told myself that from that one single experience, from that single girl whom I thought was the one, if I had just thought that, oh, my true love, my only one true love has rejected me and I will never find a girlfriend again, I would not have gone out there and talked to girls. Now, I don't have a girlfriend now, I don't have a wife, but I hope my story can inspire you, I guess, to not to expect too much That's all I gotta say. Don't expect too much. Don't try to change people. Just let people be. And it's gonna sound blue pill as fuck, but I believe there are many truths in this life. You don't have to subscribe to a certain pill. I think there are lots of truths in the black pill, blue pill, and red pill. Essentially, what I'm saying is that don't try to change people. You will find someone for you eventually. And according to the red pill, don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Just go out there, mingle with people, find your tribe. And according to the black pill, you gotta cope. If it doesn't work out, if you don't get any bitches, there are other things to focus on. You shouldn't rope, you shouldn't kill yourself. There are other things. Life is so rich. There's no one single checklist or manual that you have to follow to live life. That's it, guys. I hope you're doing extremely well out there. And yeah, I hope to talk to you next time. Stay strong and God bless.